Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR. Today, it's the man they call Meathead and the lovely Linda Kay, sporting her very beautiful Pro Wrestling Insurance t-shirt. Yeah, that's right, up on the glass. Pro Wrestling Insurance t-shirt. Hey, it's an oddball Wednesday. It's Wacky Wednesday. Wacky Wednesday, everybody. Hope day. Whoop, whoop. No, it's Wednesday, and, we can't get any more cornier than that. But I'm the man they call Meathead. That's the lovely Linda Kay. Linda, how are you doing today?
Absolutely tremendous. We had a huge weekend of Crusher Fest here in the Greater Milwaukee area, in South Milwaukee, which I'm very close to. So I know we'll get into that, but it was awesome.
Would that be your home? Would that be your home arena? I mean, if Crusher Fest is in South Milwaukee and it's, right next to the OC, that's got to be your home course, right?
Very close.
I would say that, yeah. So, again, Wednesday, because we have just so much going on the weekend. Matthew still waiting for those Taylor Swift tickets. I don't know if he found them. I don't know what he's doing. He's got the Butt Nuggets in the NBA Finals tied at one game apiece tonight. They're playing Game 3. If you would pay attention to NBA news, that's not as important as where's LeBron going to go next. But
I think Matthew flew to Miami to make sure he doesn't miss Game 3 tonight.
Right. Well, Matthew Thomas and South Beach is really synonymous with each other, because if you look at Matthew Thomas, he looks like South Beach. So Before we get any farther, let's talk sponsors. First off, I'm wearing one. You got the other. Start with me.
All right. Looks like you are sporting your comfy mirror collar and elbow hoodie. As always, make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Check out the latest and greatest in wrestling street fashions. And of course, to save extra cash, you can always use promo code Linda K, which is LINDAKAY, to save 10% off your order. And we also want to thank, you saw it before, I'm sporting my also comfy ProWrestlingInsurance.com t-shirt. Make sure to visit ProWrestlingInsurance.com. Speak with our great friend Chris. Let him fill you in a bit more about how you can save money. As a matter of fact, get a check written out to you if you should get hurt to help pay for any medical bills if you do get hurt. And I know it's ProWrestlingInsurance.com, but that does apply to anybody. This is a supplemental coverage. It's affordable, as low as $8 a month for anybody to be covered with that extra supplemental coverage, making sure you get paid if you get hurt. Make sure you save that money as well. ProWrestlingInsurance.com.
Absolutely love it. So, a big weekend. First off, Linda, I'm going to have you tell us about everything going. I came down and saw a little bit of the action as well. We were supporting the Crusher, all you turkeys and dolly necks. Did I just say turkey necks and dollies? I said turkeys and dolly necks. No, yes. All you dollies and turkey necks. The dollies are the girls, the turkey necks are the guys. And then how about that, huh? How was that weekend for you?
It was so awesome. Thank you to Peggy from Crusher Fest and just the great crew there. I mean, if you have not made it to Crusher Fest, this is an annual event. I believe this was the 5th year, but
this is the best time of year too, by the way, Linda. I don't know if you can speak to this a little bit better than I can. Sometimes it was in October, sometimes it was a little different. This was the opening weekend of June. The weather was perfect.
Yeah, it was really the kickoff to the summer festival season in Milwaukee, which if you are from the area, there's always a good reason in Milwaukee to shut down a street to get some tents put up, some beers drank, some fooding, and some live entertainment.
And some music, yep.
Yeah, so in addition to the music, we, of course, had the big tent where yours truly got to co-announce with the great Polish Rifle, Scott.
The Polish Rifle? How long has it been since I've seen that guy? Well, welcome back.
Yeah, so we got to co-host. This was a co-branded show both Saturday and Sunday last week in between GLCW and MIAW. And we had tremendous matches, a hot crowd, packed tent, perfect weather as well.
Linda, so packed, I watched a show from outside the tent.
Yes. Well, thank you for making it up too, Meathead. But yeah, just a wonderful time. We had our regular GLCW stars, including the Fanny Pack Kid Cal Hero, former senior intern Cal Hero with the PWR, I'll say Pro Wrestling Report. Well, we also had our great friend Mike Kirkhoff, Iron Mike Kirkhoff from CBS 58. Also, if you haven't gotten a chance, check out his socials. He put a great piece about Crusher Fest online as well. He was wrestling in that event as well. And we had debuts and we had returns and some title matches. It was awesome.
It was an amazing show. And to be honest and to be fair, the tent was packed. I was closer to the beer stand anyway, so everything worked out. I hadn't seen all the work they've done in that Bucyrus area for a while. What a great little stage they had there. They had the great food up. They had it was unbelievable. I was kind of hurt.
Money, a big part
Yeah.
of the whole Bucyrus Commons in that area. And then, of course, got to mention the legends that were on site. We had Ted DiBiase, Bob Orton, Leaf
Cowboy Bob
Cassidy,
Orton.
aka Al Snow. Sorry, Cowboy Bob Orton. Leaf Cassidy, aka Al Snow. The original rocker, Marty Jannetty. And, of course, Greg the Hammer Valentine as well. So thank you for everyone once again. Cannot wait for Crusher Fest next year as well.
That was 3 generations of rockers right there. You had Jannetty, you had Leaf, and you had Cal. So you had the 3 different generations. So
isn't that great?
It was absolutely amazing. Again, great time, and I think they found the right weekend, because for those of you that don't know, around here during festival season, there's something going on the big festival grounds at Summerfest every weekend. This was the one, I believe, that didn't have anything. So, I mean, they might have the weekend to do this, because again, church festivals all over the place too.
Yeah, actually, Pride, I think, took place.
Was Pride? Okay.
Yeah. Again,
right.
Milwaukee has.
Well, then you're gonna have to do one on one and one on the other.
Make it up to everything that you like.
Yeah, it's multiple days. So if you do Pride, if you do Pride on Saturday, do Crusher on Sunday, or Crusher on Saturday, Pride on Sunday, whatever. But again, huge festival season there. If there wasn't already a reason to come to Milwaukee, by the way, we drink on the weekends during the summer. I don't know if you guys know that. And all of our parks have pavilions in them now where we drink there as well. So unbelievable. So Linda, we got a lot of news, a lot of things to get to. I'm going to start it off on a little bit of somber note. Hopefully we can bring it back up again. A friend of the Pro Wrestling Reporter, friend of David David the Hero, and a friend of wrestling in general. This man was a legit Olympic wrestler. He was a legit bodyguard in his home country, and then came over to the US of A, worked for the Vern Gagne, and became a champion. His name was the Iron Sheik. Sheiky baby, passing away today. And it's a tough one. Obviously, Sheik was a kind of a polarizing figure on occasion, because Sheik no fan of the Hulk Hogan Tui, but Sheik entertained us all. Sheik passing away today, and it's a tough one, Linda.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just think about all those moments, like you just mentioned, his rivalry with Hulk Hogan. Just him having the flag, and especially that time in the '80s, like it just meant so much, and just showing that culture, showing the heel he was, and it was great. And yes, Iron Sheik definitely was a friend of the shows. He was in town a lot. Dave, obviously
David the Hero.
Yes, had him here, and I met him a couple of times as well. And it's really sad to hear. I saw that, and I instantly got sad and reached out to Dave. So
it's tough. I mean, because he's been good to us as the PWR. He's been good to Dave, obviously. I mean, I just saw Dave throw some pictures out there of kind of a progression with Cal the Hero, as well, and the kid with the fanny pack. And it's tough. The Father Time gets us all, right? Doesn't make it any easier when it happens. All right, let us move on. We got a huge week of wrestling that we got to get to. First off, let's start with SmackDown, and we'll kind of circle our way through. We'll do all WWE, then we'll get to AEW. The last 15 minutes of SmackDown, the Bloodline, the Roman Reigns celebration of 1,000 days, brought out by Triple H, a brand new championship belt.
Yes.
I like it. I don't mind it at all. It was silly for him to continue carrying around 2 belts, because he's not defending 2 belts. He defends 1 championship. So the fact that they took the 2 belts, those are going to go in somebody's trophy case, and he wears the one now. Because, I mean, the picture on their splash page is Heyman holding both of the old belts.
Yeah,
and Roman wearing the big one.
We're going to have Mick Foley finding.
Right, exactly.
One day.
Yeah, I reached out to Rikishi, and he says, I don't know, they're in some case somewhere. No, but seriously, Roman Reigns now wears, actually, what we need is that 1,000 jumpsuit as well, with the 1,000 patch right on it. I need that jumpsuit, period, to be honest with you, because the jumpsuit's hot, because that silhouette that he has is Jordan-esque. Yeah. It's perfect. So your thoughts on, basically, it was Jimmy this time, not Jay, but Jimmy getting smacked around, Jay not having it, and they did such a great job presentation-wise. But my tribal chief, what about Jay and Roman? He'll do what he's always done. He'll fall in line. just hearing that right at the end.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Absolutely. I had that feeling once we had Solo siding with his brothers.
Right.
I just had that feeling like, oh,
That Samoan Spike was coming. Yep.
And then even Roman apparently giving in. You know, we had that moment, some emotions there, some kind of tears, you know, being shed, some emotion. That's been a big key piece of this whole bloodline storyline, right? We get a lot of emotion.
What great work by everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So,
and then again, just now is it Jay that's which way will he side? It's the saga continues, and I love it because we're getting this storyline just still going, and there's so many different variables.
It's like a tree. It continues to branch.
Yes.
Right.
It could be like, well, actually, no, now it's going to be, is it Solo that we're questioning? You know, it's just fantastic. It's definitely a must see every Friday night. And as far as the championship, I do like it as well. Even just the moment of him putting it on and him, I thought that was great. But now we got to talk about the tag team titles. Eventually.
Yeah, is that next? Now, to be fair though, they did give him this brand new championship. It's still got Velcro on it. It's still terrible. Those belts are Velcro. You have all these little dots. Like I'm looking at the splash page right now of Heyman. And you see the little dots. Those are supposed to be snaps, right? That's a real championship belt. Velcro. Come on. It's tacky. Give me a belt that snaps on. So, but then again, remember in WWE. Well, yeah, I've had a quick release way too many times in my life too. But give me a championship strap on where, you know, that I wore on me, but you know, it's not a belt in WWE because a belt will hold your pants up if you ask Vince McMahon.
Right, exactly.
All right. Well, SmackDown, we had a couple other big stories really happen out of that. We had L.A. Knight. Yeah. Advancing to the Money in the Bank match. Now, it's a shame because he defeats Montez Ford. I thought when I saw this match, I'm like, oh, man, I got to choose one of these two? Because I want them both in the Money in the Bank match. Yeah. Please let Montez Ford win some second chance battle royal. Please.
Yeah, or even just the second chance match.
Right.
I think that's been done pretty frequently for prior tournaments and whatnot, or chances to be in these huge matches. So I do see that happening, and I hope so as well. That we just like how we got Montez in Elimination Chamber working solo and seeing just different things being done. Maybe we'll get the same for Money in the Bank.
Yeah. So we also got a new look again for Lacey Evans.
Yes, I know. They're talking about, very reminiscent to Sergeant Slaughter, but
there's talk that Sarge may come out and maybe show up with her once in a while too, because that was Sarge's look.
Yeah. Like, who knows? I mean, unless I missed something, maybe he did praise it. Maybe that's what he wanted, and maybe he will accompany her on certain things. It's always great seeing the legends and Hall of Famers returning to help support. I mean, we see that a lot in AEW right now as well. Yeah. So,
well, they're coaches, so yeah, I really love that.
Snake, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's great. I think. I've always liked Lacey Evans. I remember picking her up on Team Long Time. Sorry, through the fantasy draft, not actually picking her up in ring or at the airport or anything like that.
You picked her up one day for a sommelier test. No,
yes. And I know there's been a lot of changes and looks for her. I think this one is great. We've seen her, using the Cobra Clutch. So I hope that this look and this, I don't want to say character, but yeah, it is fix.
It's tough because they gave us the pull your heartstrings promos over and over, and now we have to boo her again. Mm-hmm. If we would have never got the pull your heartstrings, I'd be okay with this a little bit. Even though we had the Southern Belle, right?
I like the nasties.
Oh, you nasties. Yeah. She was pregnant with Ric Flair's baby for a hot minute as well. Right. Yeah, which never happened. That was just ridiculous. So, but now we've got the evil Sergeant Slaughter female version. So we'll have to see. Let's go to Raw real quick and let's talk about the World Heavyweight Championship. My bone to pick the week prior was you just said that this champion who will be exclusively to Raw will be the workhorse champion and will be the one that's defending it all the time, and then he was in a tag match. Well, the next week, here we go. Title match we haven't had, and they say over 2 years. Seth said over 2 years. I didn't do the research, but I'm sitting there going, Was that Bobby Lashley and The Miz? You know, where they kept giving us the countdown clock to Bobby Lashley's going to beat up The Miz at the top of the hour, because that was COVID era Thunderdome is what that was. I think that was actually it. But we got a great match between Seth Rollins and Damian Priest, and I loved it. I thought it was great. You know, a lot of great other things did come out of Raw as well. We got to see Becky Lynch qualify for Money in the Bank. We also got to see Gunther and Kevin Owens in a non-title match. Oh boy, can those guys go? Oh, unbelievable!
I love that setup too, where Kevin's just like, "Let's go," and he like literally starts.
I told you, this isn't how it works. You don't just interrupt. Nobody said your name.
Funny.
Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler defeat Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. This is nothing against Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, but they honestly looked like NXT talents against Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Nothing wrong with that. However, they're on the main roster. I need them to work more main roster tag matches to get their credibility up. That was a squash match. Ricochet defeats Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, actually, I take that back. That was a no contest, right? Because it was interference by why am I struggling on his name right now?
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed, yeah, interfering. Dominic Mysterio slaps Cody Rhodes. So is there something happening there? Did I see somebody challenging Rhea Ripley? Did I miss that? I thought I saw
that.
Yeah, did I see Brandy Rhodes show up?
No.
I mean, again, we're a week out. I swear I saw something.
I think you dreamt that. Didn't your internet go out during Raw? So maybe
it did go out. That's what it was.
It was a dream, and that's what had happened.
So, Indus Sher had a match as well against Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. You know, the Hurt Business, who used to be so strong, and now they're just getting smoked. I want to like Indus Sher because it's got Jinder Mahal in the background. It's got Veer and who's the third gentleman?
Sangha, who, by the way,
Sangha.
You mentioned him, champion kickboxer.
Yeah, I love Sangha, and he was a great face down in NXT for
a Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know they have a show coming up in India in the fall. I know they got to get these guys continually on and continue on. Last week, Veer tried to jump up on the ring. He missed too. The presentation's not working for me. I need more work done within this year.
Do you think that if they just keep getting more enhancement talent squash matches, that would just like kind of what Veer was doing prior to when Veer is coming to Raw kind of thing?
That Veer coming to Raw, he got a bunch of squash matches and then got some talents and squashed them. Like he squashed Dominic a bunch of times, squashed Ray a bunch of times. But I need a higher level squash.
Okay.
Give me all the squashes and give me a higher level squash.
We had Shelton and Cedric as start maybe. I don't know.
Those are squashes as well. So
I think we need to have them speak. And I know that they have Jinder, but I think I would like to hear them speak more. And they've had some promos where they would pop up in the corner and, and getting these reintroductions after the draft. But I see where you're getting with that. I do. They are powerful. I think they could be dominant heels if just maybe it's getting there.
So we would normally go right to AEW at this point, right? After we finish the Raw conversation. My friends, we're stopping at NXT. What's going on NXT? I'm calling it NXT 2.1 because it's not that 2.0 neon nonsense. This is a new NXT.
It's neon, but there are some changes, yes.
There's a lot of changes. So apparently they have a sommelier wrestling as, what is his name now? Scripps. Okay.
Reggie.
Commander Aziz, who used to run with Apollo Crews, is back as Dabakato. He had a match with Scripps. So Reggie, now in NXT, there was all these promos of this mysterious dude under a mask or whatever. But now he's there and he's Reggie, and he even mentions it too. That's the part I enjoy the most is that, yes, I was Reggie, but I go by Scripps now because it's, a name given to me by my people. Your thoughts on Reggie actually getting out there and being able to wrestle?
I love it. A couple of weeks ago when his mask had come off, you had the crowd they popped once, I mean, obviously he had the Reggie chance prior to the mask coming off, but
Yeah.
once it got revealed in ring, they loved it, and it's great. I like what's been going on with him and Axiom. But obviously Reggie being he was a delight. No matter
He
who
was.
when he
He
was
actually
on
was.
SmackDown
Yeah.
with him and Carmella and just everything. And with Dana, speaking of transitions, him and Dana Brooke, you remember they almost got
Right.
married.
They almost got married because that was the R-Truth to Mina. Dana Brooke.
The 24/7.
Yeah, Tao Tazawa. That's it. I thought it was R-Truth, but I mean, it was
Yeah,
R-Truth.
R-Truth was
Yeah,
officiating.
that's right. I knew R-Truth was in there. Here's the thing with Reggie, though, or Scripps. He actually did work for Cirque du Soleil. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, he was he trained at the Circus Harmony for 7 years, and he was in Montreal for another 3. So he is a professionally trained acrobat. So all that stuff that he did, remember he had the little springboard that he would jump into the ring with as well. He was a 24/7 champ as well. So I mean, it's not that this guy can't work. He can definitely work. Brooke losing the 24/7 title to Nikki ASH during the backstage attack, and then Reggie jumps in and he pinned. So. Good stuff. Happy to see him. And, you kind of open it up there. Dana Brooke just showed up out of nowhere and NXT as well. So they all know where the address is, right? So if they ever want title shots, they know where to find it in the back parking lot. The most dangerous place in all of professional wrestling, by the way.
Oh, yeah, especially at NXT. And by the way, it is commonly mentioned there as the free agent, So, remember we had that draft where we had the free agent. So, yeah, NXT is the place to be because we saw last night Dana Brooke get in, and I'll let you continue because I was going to mention more names, but I was
going to say, Dana Brooke got in, and there's other people that are going there as well. We saw this a couple weeks ago, and I'll segue back to you. Baron Corbin going right after. I think it was Carmelo Hayes, correct?
Yes. Yep. We saw the attack last week, and then last night. Carmelo was not there, but Trick Williams was.
And Trick Williams saw the lights, and he got counted down for a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but I like this. I always enjoy whenever someone on the main roster goes to NXT, or in Baron's case, back to NXT. He did mention that he was like, we from FCW that really built and created NXT. You guys wouldn't be here if we didn't build that foundation. Something along those lines. Right. I like that. I know that the main roster stars are brought down to help. I mean, I'll say no, but the assumption to help elevate the up and comers, but also, I mean, it's also revival. No pun intended.
It's the rub. Yeah, it's basically you get the rub. I mean, you're dealing with that a lot in OVW, you said too, right?
Yeah, we have OVW alum that have come by for either appearances or matches, like last year. I think it was before the Rumble. We had Chris Masters come by for a meet and greet. Aaron Stevens. We have sometimes like Aaron popping into one of our camps and just speaking with us and having us work on promos just on the spot like that. That kind of stuff.
I loved Damien Sandow. I really did.
You see him on NWA. Yeah. No, he's great.
Well, I'm talking about Damien Sandow when he was with the Miz, like he was his body double, and he kept doing this stuff on the ring. He got over too far, and that literally was what shut down his whole career because he got too over. That stuff was absolutely. Remember, Damien Sandow won the Money in the Bank, and he had the leather Money in the Bank. Do you remember that? His was made of leather, and he lost.
He was exquisite.
Yeah, he was exquisite. So yeah, that's the back and forth. It's a wrestling thing, right? The up and comers work with. I mean, we're seeing it on Raw. Trish is with Zoe Stark right now.
Yes. Oh,
so I mean, by the way, yeah, getting that rub as well. Yeah, she's a badass. But we see this happens all the time. I mean, what do you think the Jericho Appreciation Society really is? Is Jericho bringing up 5 other names, or 6 other names? So happy to see Dana Brooke there. But I think the biggest story out of all of them is the big one. Braun Breaker says he's going to take on Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker is going to be the new World Heavyweight Champion. Holy smokes.
Right.
Is it going to happen? I don't know, but I want it.
Yeah, I can't see Seth Rollins being the fighting champion that he is not, making his way back to the confines of the PC down in Orlando. Of course, this is something to expect. And
remember, Triple H did say
NXT. It wasn't Braun
right.
going to Raw.
Remember, Triple H did said anywhere in the world. Triple H did say that he's the world heavyweight champion, and he can go anywhere in the world to defend that belt.
But
which means
belt's
Orlando.
exclusive to Raw.
Yeah, which means Orlando.
Yeah, well, it means current roster. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, that was the huge news. So
I don't know where to take those rules. I take them with a grain of salt every day. Just like I don't know what's going on with AEW as we transition here, but a young man by the name of Crazy Mariachi is returning to AEW, and we are on June 7th right now. It's 10 days away, not this Saturday, but next Saturday night at the United Center in Chicago. The Second City Saint, CM Punk, returns to AEW.
I almost said but that was the wrong name. You said it that cadence there, anyways.
AEW Collision, the brand new TV show that'll be on TNT, will be CM Punk country. Linda, we haven't had a chance to talk about it. CM Punk returning to AEW. Does Ace Steel return? Does CM Punk work with the Young Bucks and the Elite? Does he bring Larry the Dog? Because all of this stuff was all part of the All In or All Out. I think it was All Out last year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The All In, All Out, excuse me, in whatever city it was in. But we haven't seen him since that. It's been almost a year.
Yeah, that big announcement last week on Dynamite there. I think it's safe to say everybody was assuming he would be there. And part of it was, I was thinking about that. I'm like, do we as fans want that excitement, that mystere, kind of like when he came back at the United States?
They're not going to get that again. They can't.
No, but just kind of like it wasn't officially announced, but you knew.
Right.
So now that it was, like, okay, does that help or does that hurt? I mean, I think anybody who's already planning to go will go, and honestly, I think it'll help. Anybody now, it's like, oh, Punk's back. Okay, I can make my way to Chicago that weekend.
But does Punk have the same juice that he had before?
See, that's the thing. I feel that it's gonna like everything that happened, the stuff backstage will be eluded and just not really a part of this fresh show that's going to be pretty much him being the face of, safe to say, right? Or at least you associate him with that. I feel personally it's not going to be mentioned. I think it's meant to be like another start to just another program and new programs in itself, meaning storylines and whatnot. But I think he'll come out and welcome everybody, and we'll proceed as usual.
AEW will now have 3 television shows in primetime. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, 9 p.m. Central is still technically primetime, but they will have Dynamite on Wednesdays, Rampage on Fridays, and Collision on Saturdays. The ticket sales for the Canadian leg of the tour of Collision have gone poorly. They're hoping that the Martha Hart tournament, the Owen Hart tournament, may kick those, even in Regina. There's I said that just to get a little tickle there. But even in Regina, Saskatchewan, ticket sales are not going well. When AEW Dynamite came through Milwaukee, Linda, they told us it was the only appearance in the year. Is Milwaukee getting a Collision? Who knows? But I mean, we need it. I need to have another show here. Give me a October, November show when you're struggling. Unfortunately, Chicago being the second city, pun intended, for Tony Khan, those always get the big shows. Like the last year when we got Dynamite, it was the go home to Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
And remember, Forbidden Door is now happening in Canada as well. So Forbidden Door also on its way. And you know what? The build to Forbidden Door was a little wonky. I told you how I felt as Forbidden Door. I'm like, we get all these guys. I don't know who the hell half of these guys are. I'm learning about them, but they're not on my TV enough for me to care enough about them. We're very close to Forbidden Door, and I still don't know who half of these people are.
I think we've gotten more of an intro of anybody being brought on. I guess I'm not sure what the card is right now for it.
How do I invest in something that I don't know where half the people are? But I did learn that I love Okada. I did learn that I loved Will Ospreay. These guys that have been out there. And we've seen a lot more of Aussie Open.
Zach.
I loved all these guys. So Zack Sabre Jr. is another one. I don't know if that's who you were mentioning, but I love these guys. I'd love to see them a little bit more. So now with 3 shows, Linda, Are we finally going to get to see the whole roster at least once a week?
I hope so. I mean, we know that, and we were there. Instead of the Dark Elevation matches before Dynamite goes live,
2 hours of Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and that's great because remember we were saying like we want to showcase and highlight some of those Ring of Honor talents that we may not see regularly on AEW television per se. Having this, I think it's another outlet that's on TV and not on YouTube.
Yeah.
Make it a part of your Saturday night, or you DVR it.
There you go. All right. Well,
I know it's going to be on my weekly rotation.
It'll be in the weekly rotation. We'll talk about it right here on PWR today as well when we get to that Monday morning show. So let's talk about Dynamite from last week. And, really Dynamite we got tonight, but Dynamite from last week had a lot of good work going as well. We saw at the pay-per-view Chris Statlander show up out of nowhere, defeating Jade Cargill, taking that TBS championship. Maybe finally we'll get to see that defended as well. She's in the new promo package for Collision as well, so she looks amazing. Dynamite, we had an Orange Cassidy match, of course, as well. But now let's talk about Dynamite tonight. We've got the Blackpool Combat Club, who have been on TV pretty much every week as well. They've taken on Chaos, Ricky Starks, and Jay White. This is a match that we need to see. Juice Robinson and FTR banned from ringside because FTR has been backing up Ricky Starks. Switchblade Jay White now officially being All Elite, now officially being in the company. I'm more invested in him. And Juice Robinson just looks insane. So, remember, we were supposed to have Juice, I believe, at one of the shows. Was it last year?
Shows, the Hardy?
Yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to have Juice, but he was obviously doing Bullet Club stuff. We're going to hear from MJF, of course. We're also going to have Jack Perry and Hook taking on Preston Vance and Dralistico as well. And then Orange Cassidy and Swerve Strickland for the International Championship. Orange Cassidy continues to defend that belt every week. He is the workhorse. He's the World Heavyweight Champion of AEW because, he's on damn near every show, if not sometimes 2 shows. There was once where he was on a Rampage and he actually defended his belt again the next night. You know
what? Now that you mentioned that, he's saying his workhorse. He was not a part of the 4 Pillars match or conversation. I know, I get it. His character is rather different. He's already the international.
He does. But he's the king of sloth style.
Yeah, but if you think AEW, Orange Cassidy.
Oh, he's on that flag. Yeah, he's absolutely on the flag. If you're looking at the AEW talents that were introduced to the country, strictly from AEW with them since day one, it's Orange Cassidy. That is my guy. As far as if we look up and down the company, yeah, you got MJF has the belt. The 4 Pillars match had Sammy Guevara. It had Jungle Boy Jack Perry. It had Darby Allin. I'm an Orange Cassidy guy. So, all right. And then Rampage last week as well had the title matches. But again, as you look at it, you had El Hijo del Vikingo, you had Commander, you had Dralistico, Zack Sabre Jr. and Action Andretti, who, since he beat Chris Jericho, what have we been doing? There's not really, he's there. That's cool.
They had him aligned with Ricky Stark, but.
Right. Need more work. I need more investment.
Yeah.
You had Willow Nightingale and Emi Sakura and Shibata, who, if you know Shibata's story, who came back from a major injury, and now he's the pure champion. And we had a ROH match, but it wasn't presented as an ROH match this time. Because remember, when they're presenting it, they'll put the ROH commentators on the table. Ian Riccaboni, I believe it is, the ring announcer for Ring of Honor.
The commentator, ring announcer. He's great.
Yeah, when are we going to get that show with the boys on over and over? Because that stuff's just amazing. I want Dalton Castle and the boys peacocking all over the place. But we got a lot of wrestling. We get a lot of wrestling every week. I'm having trouble keeping up with all of that stuff. It's a lot. And to keep up with the kid with the fanny pack, to keep up with Great Lakes Championship Wrestling, to keep up with MIAW, who, we keep watching stars from MIAW. Those guys are getting blown up as well. I know there's a little bit of mix from MIAW and OVW.
Yeah. OVW just had a Saturday night special as well. I'll be back in the Ville next week. We got our summer tour going.
It's a lot of action all over the place. Linda, anything else we need to kind of put out there, kind of pump up before we kind of send this on its way?
I mean, just keep tuning in, y'all. I mean, we know we see the numbers. We thank you so much
Yeah.
for listening and sharing and giving us the rating there for
The
the
love.
podcast. That helps as
love.
well. Yeah. So yeah, just stay up to date and our socials, as well as thank you for everyone who has gone to lovelylindak.com.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got some new 8x10s I'm about to put on the merch store there as well. And of course,
There you
to
go.
our sponsors for supporting ProWrestlingInsurance.com, and of course, Collar and Elbow as well.
I love them. All right. For Linda Kay, for Matthew Thomas, who I don't know where the hell he is, apparently down in South Beach, yeah, looking for nuggets of something. I don't know what he's looking for. On the Man the Call Media, thanks for stopping by. We will talk to you guys next week. So long, everyone.